I am really excited to be here. My name's Jenny Koenig, and I actually had the privilege of co-directing a Cairo camp here with my dad for 10 years. So I'm so excited to be back on holy ground, and I'm excited to see all of you. Today I'm going to talk to you about something completely different than that. Pleasantville Youth Initiative. So I live in Pleasantville, Iowa. Anybody know where Pleasantville is? I don't see anybody from Pleasantville here, maybe. Pleasantville is a little town about 45 minutes that way. I don't know my directions very well. But Emily and I, this is Emily Calkins, she and I are co-founders of Pleasantville Youth Initiative. And so we run this organization in Pleasantville, and we've given you some pamphlets, and what we're going to do is we're going to really quickly run through this, since I know we got to be conscious of time so you can ask questions and things. But just to give you an idea of how it started, I was an awkward teenager. Anybody else? Nobody else is? Okay, yeah, we got, all right here. Oh, over there. Okay, yeah, me too. Good company. But I was also a pastor's kid in the 90s, so my level of awkward was a little bit higher. You know, while the other kids were listening to cool music, I was listening to Carmen and Michael W. Smith and that sort of thing. But lucky for me, I had parents who loved me very much and who told me about Jesus. As a pastor's kid, I had the privilege of being around so many mentors in the church, Sunday school teachers, youth leaders, and also just people in the church that cared about me. So I was really lucky in that way. But even with all of that mentorship, I still struggled with my self-worth. I still struggled with my body image. I struggled with all the things that teenagers tend to struggle with. And so I can't imagine what it would be like to trudge through life from trench to trench in your teenage years without those godly voices calling you forward and calling you on. And that's sort of where Pleasantville Youth Initiative began. That's what we do. So we're mentors for the kids, but we also just love to be a presence in their life, a light in their life, so that they know when they see us around town, there's somebody who cares about them, there's somebody who loves them. So that's sort of who we are and kind of where we got the idea. And I'm going to let Emily, part of my role at Pleasantville Youth Initiative is ministry, and then also visioning and the digital media stuff. Emily is our finance lady, so she's way more important than me, and she's my boss, really, when it comes down to things. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm going to let Emily go through, in your pamphlets there's our 2021 year in review, and I'm going to let Emily talk you through a little bit of what we did. Oh yeah, we are a nonprofit, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we are a nonprofit. We're not a church organization, but we are a faith-based nonprofit. But yeah, so 2021 year in review, just kind of give you some ideas maybe for things that we are doing. First one was Meals for Kids. So we actually partnered with a summer meal program, the Knoxville Food Youth Initiative, to provide meals for kids. So they actually bring the meals into Pleasantville, and then we would disperse them. There was some, I talk with my hands, so I'm gonna hit the microphone. So there was, we had to put some of the bags together, but we actually partnered with our local Methodist church and brought those in, and we would bring in volunteers, and we would do all the coordination. But that's just one way that we could bring in just some kind of assistance for people in our community that was desperately needed that we didn't have before. And it was fairly easy to bring that in. And then the first year, summer, we did it in 2021. We handed out 3,000 meals. This summer in 2022, we handed out 16,000 meals over the summer. So it was a huge need that was being met, and it was something that was, they actually came to us, and that was fairly easy to implement across the board. So that's just an idea. Another thing, we do events for teens. So Jenny and I both love middle school and high school kids. I've been a youth sponsor for 16 years as a volunteer because I like it. So while also working in corporate America for a number of years. So some of the events that we do, we put on a post-game party after last home football game, have the kids come in. We usually have a DJ come in and then play games with the kids. Another thing we do is we host a middle school dance. There's nothing for our middle schoolers dance-wise that they can have to really hang out outside of school. So we just use our local community memorial hall and have a dance for the middle schoolers. We like to rent out the rec center in Knoxville. That's a town over, and we just rent the center out, have kids come, hang out with them, play games with them. They swim, super fun. In the summertime, we'll rent out a swimming pool over in Carlisle and have a big pool party for them, which is really fun. We've done like a prom dress drive where we've had people donate prom dresses, and then we set up like a boutique like style event where girls can come in and get a free prom dress. And the cool thing about our events is everything is absolutely free. So to get in, it's free. The snacks are free. The kids normally, they're used to going to things for the school, so when they come in, they have this expectation that they're going to have to pay something. And their eyes, when we're at this post-game party with literally a table full of Little Debbie's and chips and every kind of wonderful treat you could ever imagine, are standing there and they're like, what does it cost? And we say, nothing. Like, it's free to you. It's just an idea of lavishly loving the kids in our community. So that's just an idea of some of the events that we do. There's obviously more, but if you want to know more, just let us know. We do community events. One of our biggest events is we do a trick or treat on the square, which is fairly similar to a trunk or treat. We just have tables instead of trunks. But we invite businesses from the community to come in and churches, yes. And so it's just a way, we really want to we have connections with all the churches in our community, and it's just a way for them to get in front of people. So however and whenever we can do that, that's just one of the ways that we do that. And then the other big thing that we do in the community that's one of my favorite things ever is we're always part of the parades in town. It seems like such a simple thing, but we make sure that we really invest in the best kind of candies and handouts. And I have a bucket on the back of the truck, and the kids are usually chanting, bucket, bucket, when we go through downtown, which is my favorite thing. So that's super fun thing that we do to get in front of people. And then also fostering creativity. We host an online creativity challenge where we actually encourage kids to submit. A lot of times it'll be photography or things that they draw or original songs that they'll sing, and then we actually will have a judge come in and we put those on display on our website and our social media so people in our community can see, and then they actually win a prize if they win in those, and we get professionals in those areas to come in and judge that. So that's a really great way to promote creativity and artwork. We've also done on our trick or treat on the square, we have a really great connection with our art teacher in town, and the kids like decorated pumpkins, and then we had them on display for the community to see during our trick or treat event. So it's just ways that you can partner with different places to get the kids creativity. Oh, and then also the picture on here, I should probably go over that one. We let the kids, we've purchased the old grocery store uptown that we are looking to turn into our headquarters. We're still in fundraising mode for that, but we let the kids come in and paint the windows for homecoming, and so we try to have a really big presence in the community during that homecoming week. And the last thing that is on here is outreach. So we actually have an I Need Help program that we do where people in the community can go on to our website and they can actually ask us for help. And so this is just a really basic way of meeting needs in the community. We've written grants and gotten money for this program, and then we literally have bought kids clothes. We've had some kids who can't participate in sports because their families can't afford it, so then they'll come to us. We've bought cleats and all kinds of sports equipment. We've put money in lunch accounts, just anything that you can think of, bought groceries, which I know a lot of the churches do those types of things. But one of the things that's been most helpful in this arena is we actually have a connection with our local Girl Scout troop, mainly because I was a Girl Scout and I love them. So we have this really great relationship with them. We did a cookie baking class with them and just taught them how to bake cookies and decorate them. And within that time, I actually got to sit down with their leader and ask if we could sponsor any of the girls that their families were having troubles paying, and she said absolutely. They had 3 families that had girls in Girl Scouts, so we did that. And then she actually said, "Can you give me more information on your I Need Help program?" So we did that, and she has identified at least 4 to 5 more families that needed help with other things, just because they felt she's such a wonderful, humble person that people love to talk to her, and so she's been a great ally for us. Just pointing people in our direction that we can get the help that they need. So yeah, that's just a brief overview of some of the things we do. But yeah, so I'll let Jenny come on in.
Yeah. So the heart behind what we do is, God loves us lavishly. He gives to us lavishly, and that's sort of how we want to be in our community. And that's kind of what we do. And partnering with the local churches and getting people to bake things or to do those sorts of things is huge. And so, so a couple of takeaways, I guess. I'll give you one, and then Emily will give you one, and then we'll open it up for questions or however you guys want to do that. One takeaway is, in your churches, don't forget the hospitality towards the youth and kids. And what I mean by that is, don't be afraid to have, for example, when you were a little kid, if you went to the bank, or at least when I was a little kid, when I went to the bank, most of the time, the lady up there would be smiling big at me, and she would give me a little sucker, right? I will never forget that. I still like going through the drive-thru at the bank because that lady gave me a little sucker. Well, if we have good hospitality towards the children and youth in our churches, when they are adults and they've gone away from the church and they're struggling with whatever, they're going to remember those people that smiled and greeted them and gave them a little sucker or gave them something fun like that. They're going to remember that, and they're going to be like, that was a safe place. Those people loved me. I'm going back there. So it's vital that you have hospitality for your youth and your kids. And sometimes, I know a lot, as a mom, I'm health conscious with my kids, but sometimes having a big table of Little Debbie's and Mountain Dew is the thing that gets the kids excited, and that's okay every once in a while, right? So hospitality towards your kids and your youth in your church is vital. That would be my number one takeaway for you.
Yeah, and I think for mine, being a finance person, I think when you're looking at your budgets or even requesting things, invest in your youth and invest in fun. And if you have bored people you want me to talk to, just let me know. But I think building those into your budgets and really, because even with the parades, we really make sure we go above and beyond. Even when people ask for help, they may ask for a pair of shoes. We're not just getting them shoes. We're getting them shoes. We're getting them whole outfits. I think it's just the idea of God really going above and beyond, and Jesus really loving people and giving them more than what they ask for. And when they have that kind of experience, this happened to me 3 times this week. I'm handing people things and just walking out, and they're just like, you guys are crazy. What is so, you guys are so different. And I think that is what Jesus really calls us to be different. And he really calls us to give lavishly where it seems crazy. And I know from a finance perspective, it can look nominal, and it can look like it's being maybe something that's not being financially responsible. But if you build it into your budget and you put it into a way of, this is how we are going to love our community and these kids, then they really do. People's eyes will spark when they see you, and you will get this just reaction. And what they're responding to is the love of Jesus inside of you, but they don't know that yet. But it does give us an opportunity to share that with them. Yeah. That's all we had.